Drop. Drop. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to Danny's Detours, where we talk about anything and everything life related and consciousness is our canvas. Welcome back to the channel, guys, and I am out and about again. You already know the score. My two favourite compadres who are jumping through the grass like rabbits, Paddy and Willow. Yeah, thank you so much for joining me on another walk and talk, sit down and chat. And today we are going to be talking about pornography, and is it serving you? You know, is it a good thing? Yeah, so we're just starting about. I'm just on the local fields, just walking around now. I'm going to go over to my usual spot. We'll have a sit down, we'll have a little bit of a chat. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has liked, commented and subscribed to the channel. We're doing really well with the subscribers now, guys. It's starting to slowly trickle up, which is absolutely fantastic to see. So yeah, Paddy and Will are out and about. They're happy. Paddy's found the ball and all this morning, so yeah. But yeah, pornography, is it serving you? Is it a good thing? Well, there's many things that we could talk about with this, guys, but obviously my honest humble opinion, is it good for you? No, it is not. And the way you've got to look at it as well, guys, right, obviously, you know, why are these things so easily accessible for us? We'll have a sit down. Let's quickly take off my shoes and socks, get a bit of grounding done. Oh, you don't want to see my feet, guys, obviously, but well, some of you might, I don't know, some of you might be into that, each to their own. I'm not judging, you know. But yeah, pornography, is it a good thing? Does it serve you? Well, no, I say no, because the way you've got to look at it, guys, right, and a lot of this is factored in for the younger generation, because you've just got to look at the younger generation now and how easily accessible it is for you. You know, you've got to look at it like that and think to yourself, well, why is it so easily accessible, and why are these platforms so popular? Because the way you've got to look at it, right, sex and sexual energy, whatever, you know, that is one of the most powerful forces in this universe, because this is what our lowerly pleasures or our low frequency states are dictated by. Because you've just got to look at like the animal instincts and stuff like that, guys. You know, it's this is what a lot, when you are operating on a low frequency, these are the things that sort of like dictate your actions or your motivations. And yeah, and a lot of it's down to self-mastery as well, and self-control, learning, like I always talk about, you know, with your chakras. You know, the lower end is more red, which is low vibrational, which is like food, greed, sex, you know, lust, all these different things that are attached to these lowerly pleasures. But yeah, but not only that, guys, but you've got to look at it like this as well with pornography and stuff like that, how easily accessible it is. But not only that, like, you know, when you are partaking in these pleasures, well, pleasures if you want to call it that, you are searching for a chemical which is called dopamine, and that gets released into your brain. But it's more so what happens afterwards, like, because basically every time you're partaking in these pleasures or activities or whatever you want to call it, then you are resetting your dopamine recalibration meter in your brain. So every time you do it, your body seeks it at a higher level, then at a higher level, then at a higher level. Then when it comes to the actual performance of, you know, getting into a relationship with your partner, whoever that may be, then it no longer becomes pleasurable, because you sort of like set this goal or this thought process up in your mind to Paddy wants his ball. Oh, lad, yeah. you've set this thing up in your mind to basically everything just goes against you. But then you've got to look at like the companies and the people that are pushing this, how easily accessible it is to you now, especially the young people, because literally you can just get hold of a VPN now on your phone, which anyone can do that, and then literally you can access these sites, you know. Even like there's kids even like going onto like platforms like X and stuff like that. There's kids as young as like 12, 13 that are out, because I remember when I was a lad, obviously there was nothing like this about, because obviously I understand technology's advanced and there's different platforms, formats and stuff like that now, but yeah, it's just crazy just to think that how easily accessible. But then you've got to think to yourself, why is it easily accessible? It's because they want the next generation docile. And not only that, go and check out, I did a video about 3 days ago and it actually is doing very, very well. I think I posted it 3 days ago about semen retention and the benefits of it. And obviously, you know, these elites or these people are within these positions of power. They understand and they know and they realise what, you know, the importance of these things. Because obviously when you undergo certain things like semen retention and stuff like that, then it enables you to gain clarity and it enables you to gain enlightenment and basically elevate towards your higher self. So yeah, it's just interesting just to see, but it just kind of like makes me think. Paddy just wants his ball. Just 1 minute. You ready? Go on. There he goes. Right, we'll all be quiet. So yeah, it's quite interesting just to look at from that point of view and realise to yourself that, you know, there's always a reason behind why these things are so easily accessible and stuff like that, guys, you know, because at the end of the day, you know, we've got to look at it like this and think they don't want you performing or being or operating at your the highest version of yourself, do they? Do you know what I mean? So it's just a few things just to think about there, but it was just something that got me thinking when I got up this morning. But not only that, we've got other are you ready? Right, go on. We've got these other platforms as well now, like OnlyFans and stuff like that. Willow, be quiet. It just makes you think what they're doing to this next generation of people. You know, they are literally, it's just a psyop. They're trying to infiltrate their minds. Like, that's another example as well, where you look at like this thing with Bonnie Blue, you know, and it's just it's crazy, but everything is attached to the same thing because it's all a big psyop. It's a bit like, you look at like what that Bonnie Blue's doing, where she's performing all these like absolutely ludicrous acts, you know. I don't need to go into detail too much about it, guys, but you guys already know what's going on, and a lot of people are aware of this, but you know, to a young impressionable mind that sees these things, especially like a young girl, and think, oh wow, well, she's got all the money, she's really famous, you know, she's got all the clout, you know, she's got lots of followers, blah blah blah, I want to be like her. I'm not saying that every young girl is going to take this approach, but it's exactly the same thing with pornography, because she's performing acts of pornography, but on a more let's just say on a lot more sinister level, you know. I was trying to think of what words I could actually think of that, but yeah, it's a lot more sinister because you've got to look at the agenda and, you know, what's at play here and why they're doing it. Because I've always sort of like used my brain in this sense and thought to myself, well, wait a minute, why is pornography so easily accessible? And why, you know, it's because they're trying to brainwash and weaken mentally the next generation. And it's exactly the same thing with AI and pushing out all these things to make everything easy for you, so then you are more easily controlled. Because at the end of the day, guys, you are the power. You are AI, yeah, because your brain is infinite intelligence and you can tap into that at any given moment, at any given time, and change your reality whenever you want. But it all starts from within you. Are you ready, Paddy? He's found this morning, this ball. You ready? Yeah. Keeps him quiet though. So yeah, just a few things that I wanted to discuss there, guys, and it just gets you thinking and makes you realise that, you know, all these things that get pushed out into the media. And it's funny how, like, you know, it was all over the media with this Bonnie Blue thing and Andrew Tate doing it. It's exactly the same thing with Andrew Tate, because he sort of like drives around in the Lamborghinis and he shows all this thing, and he's trying to like make it look like, yeah, that life is possible, but at the same time it's not. It's kind of like a psyop on your mind. But it's like, you've always got to look at it like this and think to yourself, you know, it's everything's done intentionally for a reason. So always, it's a case of just lifting up the veil and seeing beyond all the noise, you know, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just wanted to have a bit, sit down, have a little bit of a chat today about that, because I just find it's quite an important thing for me, that, because what I'm trying to do as part of this channel, there's many different things that I want to achieve with this channel, but I sort of like want to help and enable the young generation just to be able to realise and wake up to these things. Because I'm not saying that a lot of them don't, but a lot of them are lost, and they're kind of like, when you're at a young age as well, you're more easily manipulated, aren't you? So my emphasis is to like just be a shining light and give out the information, you know, on this channel in order for you to become the better, greatest version of yourself in this life, because it's a simulation, guys, and we can bring anything into manifestation or into our realities just through our thoughts, our mindset, and our feelings, and our towards what we believe and know what we already are, which is perfection, which is already anything and everything, because we are from the divine. So yeah, I think we're going to leave it at that, guys. Just sat here doing my grounding. You don't want to see my feet, but yeah, thank you so much for the love and support to everyone who has liked, comment and subscribed. And also I want to give a shout out to Matty Anderson. Everyone go and check out Matty Anderson on X. Matthew Anderson is called, and go and check out his channel. He reposted my channel the other day, so thank you so much for that, brother. He's from Scotland and he's on X. He's got about 5,500 followers. And he talks a lot about ascension, becoming the greatest version of us. He talks about all sorts of different things. I've learned a lot of information off him, and he's a really good guy. So go and check him out on X. He talks about sun gazing and just everything, guys. Go and check his channel out. But yeah, so shout out to you, Matthew Anderson. But for me, Paddy, who wants his ball, and the lovely, beautiful Willow, have a fantastic day. Love you loads.